Good morning, my special friends. I think of you who come to see me on Sundays as my very special friends because we're all talking about the same thing, and that is recycling. And I certainly appreciate the fact that you come back week after week. And I wanted to start this off with my table and what I recycle. And as you can see, I seem to have quite a stack over here, even over on my other writing table. And it's because I asked my neighbor if she would save her paper towel and toilet paper rolls for me. And I thought she forgot about it. And she said, "Oh, I was just gathering." I said, "Oh, okay, all right." And it was like a month ago. And then she asked, "Could you use little boxes?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I haven't weighed this, but as you can see, it's the old line of "Be careful what you ask for you may surely get it." And only ask for it if you think you really can use all of it. It's like when I asked Brian, our neighbor, if I could have his grass clippings, and the next week he had 40 pounds of grass clippings, and the week after that it was 45. So anyway, moving right along, I think this is week 37. And so we only have 15 weeks left in the year. But just real quickly, let's just review. I'm doing 1,000-pound challenge to divert 1,000 pounds of all of our household garbage that can be recycled and put back out into our yard. That's what we're doing. And that includes fruit and vegetable peels. Obviously, we're going to eat the fruit, but we use the peels. And I just wanted to show you that this is dehydrated. Those are dehydrated banana peels that you can use either this way for your compost. Say your compost got too wet and you wanted to add something that was a little drier, but you wanted to add more nitrogen to it rather than carbon. And then I will feed to my worms actually. And then here it is, it's dehydrated, but I've put it through the NutriBullet. And so different ways of doing things. We have our coffee grounds, tea bags. I've told you that these filters are wonderful at the base of a pot to hold back the soil from running through. And of course, your eggshells, you can use shrimp shells. If you have a grinder, you can pulverize these into a powder. And it really works well for your worms because they don't have a stomach, but they do have, like a bird, they have a gizzard, and so they really need that little bit of something to get in there and help grind things around. I also save things like my cotton. We take a lot of vitamins, and some of them come with are sealed, and others come with a cotton top. So we use those for recycling. I personally put those in with the worms. Cork is really great because cork is, this type of cork is actually from a cork tree. And you can see how that would come up. And they harvest sheets of it off of a cork tree, and then the bark actually grows back, and it's kind of an interesting process if you ever want to check on Mr. Google and find out about it. But we save those. We started saving our liquids from canned vegetables because we get the ones with no salt added. But it's interesting, isn't it? This was just harvest. We just had corn last night, and so you really don't see much. But after a couple days, this actually starts to congeal. So interesting, the properties in corn that have that gelatin almost in them that would thicken things. This is the rice. We rinse our rice and then we cook it, and the rice water has vitamins in it. It has like vitamin B in it, and good for your hair, good for your skin, and certainly good for your worms or your compost or your garden. put that in your sprinkling can and add to the health of your plants. Remember, we grow our soil. We make our soil healthy so that our healthy soil can grow our plants better, so that it can enrich the vegetables and fruit that come out of our garden to make us healthier. And that's what we're all going for. So the other thing we recycle here, anything that might have gone stale. Now, our house, there's only 2 people, and we both, I eat Rice Chex, Rick eats Cheerios. So you're responsible for eating your own cereal and not letting it go stale. But should it go stale, we have a place for it. But we also recycle our boxes, and I use those, I flatten them out and then put grass clippings on top out in my garden, and it deters the weeds. And we're all about not having to weed, so this works beautifully. Things like cornmeal, flour. I'm trying to think of anything else that we might use that if it went stale, you might want to use either for your worms or out in your garden. And then again, coming over here, here's all your carbon items, whether it's toilet paper, paper towel. If it seems like it's too, like I can't break this down. This is a little bit, this must be a, for wrapping paper, and it's a little too heavy for my worms. But I'll bet I could plant that out in my garden, and it would work very well. It will break down somehow. If we're making my hugelkultur, that will definitely be it. And it just amazes me how much we're using these days on packaging. But, you know, we don't want things to arrive broken, so all good. I just started taking this product, and I'm probably going to do a review on it. Easier to read upside down, right? And this is, it's a mushroom, dried mushroom compound, and you use it in your hot water when you're making your morning coffee. And I'm drinking a little too much coffee, so I would really like to add something to my morning ritual that would be better for me, and this I think would be the ticket. But I'll talk about that later. Anyway, hang on just one sec. Okay, I'm back. Good morning, everyone. So let me just take one swallow and turn myself around, and I will tell you that we didn't have Brian this week. So sad. And I didn't weigh any of this. She left it on my porch. She's my across the street neighbor, and she just kind of left it on my porch last night. And Rick dragged it in. Lou rolls rolling in all directions, and I said, "Don't worry about it. It'll be next week's weight." So again, everything gets marked down. I'm sure I miss things because I weigh it outside and then I come in and I go, oh, okay, right, I'll remember to do that. But for the most part, I think I'm doing pretty good. So this is week 37. We only have 15 weeks left in the challenge. Woo-hoo. And this week, just we by ourselves. Nobody else? Nope, nobody else. We got 17 pounds, 14.6 ounces. So almost 18 pounds just, and I mean, we're struggling here because our grass has stopped growing. Let's see, it was 4 pounds, 7.7 ounces for our grass. So that was minimal. We had a tree go down. We have moringa trees in our yard, and our neighbor to this direction caught me and said, "Oh my goodness, your moringa tree." Well, she didn't know what it was, but she said, "You know, your big pretty tree is leaning over and it's touching our screen, and ooh, I'm so worried." So you know, we don't want anybody to be upset. So I immediately came in and said to Rick, okay, let's see if we can right that moringa tree because they have shallow roots. And we had a lot of rain, and that area is where I used to have my compost pile. And so that soil is just really rich, and it's been fluffed and fluffed and fluffed. And so it didn't have much to hang on to. And so it was just leaning over. It wouldn't quite lean back enough, so we had to cut it back. And so I have moringa. I had moringa drying everywhere. And so we're going to be the healthiest people in the world. But anyway, so that added like a couple pounds. I don't count it. I don't count the stuff that we actually consume because I'm growing it for that purpose. But like the little stems and stuff that I will break those up and I'll feed them to either the compost or the worms. That was a couple of pounds. But anyway, 17 pounds, 14.6 ounces. And last week we had 1,283 pounds, 1.4 ounces. We added to that the 17.46, and it brought it up to 1,301 pounds, even Steven. So that's pretty good. It's been a month and a half since we reached our 1,000 total, which was August 1st. So a month and a half later was September 16th, yesterday, and that's 300 pounds, 301 pounds. I think it's darn good. So anyway, I will say I hope more people will start to follow this. I've had a few new subscribers say, wow, that's a really great idea. And when I say to someone about recycling 1,000 pounds, they just look at me. My young neighbors next to us, you know, they're 40, so that's young to me. You know, they have children. I would think that they would be so on board with it, but they're busy with their lives and they say, well, you know, we put our stuff out for recycling day. You know, we throw things out to the curb, and I think, wow, you're missing the point of what you could do, because 2-3 times a year they go to Lowe's and they buy, you know, 20 bags of mulch, 20 bags of soil or whatever, and they trim their trees, and then that's all taken out to the trash. And I'm not quite to the point of saying, can I have your tree trimmings yet? But I'm getting there. As you can see, I'm working on another neighbor. So anyway, I won't hold you anymore. I hope everybody has a great Sunday. I hope you'll come back and see me next week, because we will officially be in autumn, and hopefully our weather is going to start to change, because we are still going up to 90 for the day, and I'm ready to go out and take a walk, and it's close to 80, and our humidity yesterday morning was 97%. And so, you know, I always wear something that I think, well, how will it look wet? So 40 minutes later I come in and I'm kind of dripping, and I think, well, I don't want to look too shabby. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks so much for coming and seeing me, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye. Take care, and don't forget, garden what you've got. Bye-bye.